How difficult is it to keep a player? When do you know that now is the right time?
Well, obviously there's always a price on a player. That starts the ball rolling and supply and demand. But I think in the case at Manchester United, you know, Ronaldo talked about his dream move. That was to Madrid. But I think also the management team and certainly Sir Alex Ferguson had a quiet word really with both him, his representatives, and decided that wasn't the right moment, but eventually it would develop into it. And I think that's the same scenario here. I think Liverpool have expressed the desire to keep him for as long as they possibly can. When that deal has come, it's come now, and I think they've agreed. They've agreed to say, well, you know, away you go. It's what you want to do. And I think the player has expressed that desire to move there as well. So, you know, everything I think works for both clubs.
Yeah, there didn't seem to be a problem between Ronaldo and his United teammates at the time. There didn't seem to be one between Coutinho and his Liverpool teammates this time around. But is there a tipping point?
I think it's a good point to make, because the dressing room is the all-important situation. You know, what do they feel? How do they see it? And players can accept quite a lot in that dressing room. But then if a player does sort of turn against that atmosphere or against that dressing room, then there will be movement. But I don't think that's happened in either case. And I think it's been conducted very, very thoroughly by Manchester United when it happened, and with Liverpool. And I think everybody's agreed that now is the moment, and let's do it.
We saw Liverpool sell Luis Suarez to Barcelona. The money, Jamie Carragher made the point of perhaps it could have been invested better, and now's the time to invest it better. I mean, how difficult is it? This is what they bought: Lovren, Markovic, Balotelli, Moreno and Origi. How do they avoid that again? I mean, obviously the price tag on any player they go for goes up.
Well, all those prices there seem pretty modest right now when you look back, but at the time they were heavy investment. It is a risk. There's always a risk when you sign a player, but obviously now they're cash happy. You know, Liverpool have got the money in. Yes, they've spent on one particular player in the transfer window, but they still have some surplus. So it will be interesting now. New manager, new ideas, what he wants to go for, and how much money they want to use out of what's left of that sort of huge fee.
Well, Barcelona have got a Brazilian, and they seem to like them. Romario was named FIFA World Player of the Year during his season and a half there. Plenty more star names have followed him.
Players colliding left, right and centre. Ronaldo keeps his feet. Great strength by the Brazilian. He's left three players in his wake. He's kept his feet. This will be a wonderful goal. Oh, it is! That is world class!
That is world class.
Absolute genius from the young Brazilian.
De Boer. Rivaldo! That's magnificent! Oh, wonderful!
5 minutes to go. Crucial kick from Ronaldinho! Cometh the 85th minute. Cometh the greatest player on the planet. Messi's on the centre of the dance floor. Neymar's in there. Oh! They're strutting their stuff, Barcelona.
So another Brazilian bound for Barcelona. And it's the subject of our Twitter poll today. You know the deal. Go to @Sky Sports News. You can cast your vote. Very simple question. You have been voting in your tens of thousands. The question is this: who has got the better end of the deal for Philippe Coutinho? Liverpool or Barcelona? At the moment, look at that. 64% of you have gone for Liverpool, have got the better end of the deal. If you want to change that, go to @Sky Sports News on the Twitter and cast your vote.
Now, plenty of Liverpool and Arsenal supporters have been asking whether Thomas Lemar will be sold in this window. Monaco's position has been that they don't intend to sell any of their top players this month. The club's vice president, Vadim Vasilyev, told us a few months ago that there was a fair chance, in his words, Lemar would leave, but only in the summer. We've had nothing yet to suggest that their transfer strategy has changed. The expectation still remains that Lemar will remain in Monaco beyond this month's deadline. It would be a big surprise still if he left this month.
So a big surprise if he left this month, but that won't stop people speculating about Thomas Lemar, especially with the money that Liverpool have. Would he be a good replacement for Coutinho?
I think there's a few clubs interested in Lemar, so there would be competition there, you know, from all clubs really who have what Monaco are looking for, which seems to be, you know, money. And I think the demands on Monaco will be, you know, how much do you want to pay? And that will be the interesting bit. But I think, you know, summer is probably the right time to do deals like that. You know, they are complicated these days, or seem to be. So to get that over the line in what have we got now? 2 or 3 weeks?
We've got 23 days, 11 hours, 46 minutes and 50 seconds.
And it's going down as we speak. Yes. So it does take a lot of time to construct a deal. Maybe that will happen in the summer.
So what then about the Leicester winger Riyad Mahrez? It was claimed in one report that he was due for a medical at Liverpool over the weekend. Our latest information still remains that Liverpool haven't made a move and even contacted Leicester to tell them there wasn't interest, and described the recent report as fabricated media interest.
Right, Mahrez then. If not Lemar, then Mahrez. Would he be
well, this is
a good
the thing
replacement?
Now in January, isn't it? Everybody has got an opinion on who should go where and who's available, and only the clubs can decide that. Only the powers that be will allow these deals to happen. A player may push for a move. This has been, you know, rumoured that Mahrez was going to leave Leicester for quite a while now, but he's in good spirits and he's in good form again for Leicester. So I can't see how they would want to jeopardise their season right now.
Well, there's been plenty of transfer talk over Liverpool's Emre Can. Our colleagues in Italy are reporting the offer of a 5-year contract from Juventus being considered by the player and his representatives. His deal at Liverpool, of course, runs out in the summer, so he can reach a pre-contract agreement with a foreign club. Juventus said to be keen to get this one sorted quickly. Can will earn, we're told, around £85,000 a week under that new offer.
Well, why haven't Liverpool done more to keep him?
Well, only Liverpool know their business, and I think they're keeping it pretty in-house. They know they've got a player that actually is playing for Liverpool now, you know, and they don't want to upset that rhythm and what they've got. But it all comes down to the management and the owners as to how they see him fitting into Liverpool's strategy going forward. If it's not part of the Liverpool way of doing things and he's not going to be part of that policy, then they will move him. And it's a decision now as to whether they do it now and lose out in the summer because of the contract situation.
Well, stay with us after the break. We will tell you why this transfer window is on course to break records, and there's more information on a Southampton target who currently plays at Monaco, Rob.
Oh, interesting. Right, they tried to keep, they tried their best to keep hold of, I was busy thinking who that could be, of him today, but Philippe Coutinho finally completes his move from Liverpool to Barcelona. Welcome back to Transfer Centre. Remember, for all the latest deals, stay across our transfer blog. That's on our digital devices. Now, Philippe Coutinho is having the second part of his medical at Barcelona ahead of a £146 million move from Liverpool. We'll keep you across all the developments here on Sky Sports News and on our live blog.
Well, Rob, we are into the second week of this month's window. Premier League clubs have spent £140 million, already the sixth biggest January window. A large chunk of that, of course, Virgil van Dijk's move from Southampton to Liverpool. But with another huge transfer taking place in Coutinho, it seems that we are well on course to beat the previous records of 2011 and last January, where more than £220 million was spent. It just shows you how the dynamic can change with just a couple of big transfers. Now, we understand that Southampton are interested in the Monaco striker Guido Carroll. The 26-year-old Argentinian, valued at around £15 million, played under Southampton manager Mauricio Pellegrino during his 2-year spell in charge of Estudiantes. As well as a centre-forward, Southampton understood to be in the market for a winger and a backup right back. Well, West Brom defender Johnny Evans remains one to watch in this window. We know that Arsenal are looking to strengthen this month. We're told they've inquired about Evans along with Manchester City. No formal bids have been made. Arsene Wenger hasn't rushed to deny interest in Evans, but he says that nothing is advanced at this stage.
No, I cannot give you any news on any transfer because we are not close to sign anybody. You know, we signed the Greek boy who looks quite good in training, but apart from that, at the moment, we have not done anything. Will we be out there to do? Yes, we will.
Are you hopeful of developments this week?
Yes, because we are in the second week of January, and after that, passes quickly.
So it's Johnny Evans what Arsenal need after yesterday. How much business do they need to do here?
I think Arsenal have said that, if the right player comes along, then they will be looking into it and looking at it. So Johnny Evans is available, his contract's running out, and West Brom might be in that sort of way of thinking now to move him,
Aware of any bids at this stage?
Not to me anyway, that's for sure. Not heard from Antonio Conte or anybody from Chelsea, so I can only tell you that I've not heard anything.
Is he a player that you'll be desperate to try and hold on to this January transfer window?
I'm not keen to lose any players. As I said, our squad today looks sort of really thin, so we certainly don't want to lose any unless we think it can work, and if it was, then it would be big offers we'd be looking for.
Andy Carroll to Chelsea, there's the one.
That's an interesting
How much could you see that happening?
It is an interesting one because where will he fit into that style of play at Chelsea? How many games will he play at Chelsea? At West Ham at the moment, he seems to be in a bit of form now. He's fit and he's part of something at West Ham which David Moyes is looking for. It's quite interesting to see, but a manager not really knowing what's going on, that seems quite relevant in this day and age when it comes to transfers. Things go on, and then you're probably the last person to be told when it happens. So, that will gain. I think that will gain a bit of momentum. Where it goes, whether he will end up at Chelsea, I'm not quite sure.
Is that what Chelsea need, a striker?
Well, he seems to be short in that department. He seems to have one or two forwards there that don't seem to be getting a look in. So we've talked about it before on this programme. Centre forwards are valuable. Especially centre forwards who score goals. Not all of them do, but that's what you invest in. That's what you want, and they can change the course of your season. So yeah, Chelsea will be in the market all the time for good players.
Well, stay with us. We're still looking into reports that Newcastle are hoping to finalise a loan move for Kennedy at Chelsea. Stay in the North East, and another deal involving a Chelsea player. Sunderland expected to complete the signing of this man, Jake Clarke-Salter, on loan later today. England under-20 international defender travelled to Wearside for a medical yesterday. And we're going to end this update way over at Swansea and Alfie Mawson. We're told Watford have now joined West Ham in their interest of the defender. Swansea don't want to sell, and Mawson told us last month that he wants to stay at the Liberty Stadium.
Alfie Mawson, right, OK, we know the predicament Swansea are in, but
yeah.
What do they do here? Would they allow a player of his ability to go?
I think money will dictate that one. If that's an option that both clubs are looking at, how much do they want to pay, and how much value is Alfie Mawson to Swansea? Any manager will tell you at this present moment in time, if he's your main defender and you're in the position you're in, you want to keep hold of that player. But it is a difficult one. This is a month where rumour, speculation generates different ways of thinking for both players and football clubs and players' representatives. So it is a tricky one. But I think most clubs in those problem areas down at the bottom, unless you can replace, then you're in a position of staying as strong as you possibly can, and that's not letting your good players leave.
23 days, 11 hours, 33 minutes, 55 seconds. We'll all find out all the answers. Now, don't forget, you can check out our